Welcome to Deep Dives with Will and Rubes.
A show that is making accounting cool again.
I'm Will.
And I'm Rubes.
And welcome to our podcast. So we are putting these together to help business owners and also accountants that are advising business owners. So there are 4 segments or themes that we have in our podcast, so one each week.
The first of those is an industry deep dive, where we're going to be looking at a specific industry. We're going to draw out of a hat randomly. We're going to discuss what is that industry, how do they make money, what kind of challenges do they face, and also what kind of technologies do they use.
Yeah, exactly. So the idea behind this is if you are an accountant and you're meeting with various clients, when you walk out of the meeting with that client, we want them to think, fuck, that guy asks some good questions, or that girl asks some good questions. Exactly. And the reason that we want them to think that is if you can ask good questions, you look very knowledgeable in the industry that they work in, so they're more likely to trust you and more likely to sign your engagement and become a client and stay with you a long time. So we feel that if you can be very knowledgeable about the various industries that you service in your client base, you're going to be in a much better position to provide them better advice. So that's the idea behind that first section, very much targeted at accountants that are looking at getting into the advisory space. So if you aren't an accountant, there could be some cool stuff in there still, and we do kick off every episode with a quote of the week, and we sort of discuss that quote for a little bit, so it's a bit of fun. So the first 4 or 5 minutes absolutely is relevant for everyone. After we've done the quote and we rip into the industry, you will find it as a bit more sort of accounting related.
So if that's not for you, feel free to skip that episode. We won't know and we won't be offended.
Exactly.
Jump into the next episode. The second episode in our sequence of 4 themes is metrics that matter, and we designed that around accounting metrics beyond the P&L, beyond the balance sheet, things you should be measuring in your business or for your clients' businesses, how to measure them, who they're relevant to, why they're important, and what you can do with them.
Yeah, exactly. So I think in accounting, so Rubes and I are both trained accountants, I'll just point out now. Now, you learn a lot about the profit and loss on the balance sheet, but what you don't learn about is things like productivity metrics, write-off percentages, ROIs, average daily rates, all these sort of things that you don't really learn about, and then is very important for businesses to drive their growth. We want to be taking you through different metrics and how to calculate them and how to look at driving them as well. So again, very accounting related, that one there, but we always do kick off with that quote of the week, and there's some really, really cool stuff in these quotes.
Yeah, once again, if you find that the metric we're covering that particular week isn't relevant to you or any of the clients that you have, feel free to skip it. We won't be offended.
The third section is going to be a lot more relevant to everyone, and we call this one Fuckups and Failures.
That's right. It's a pretty raw section where we dive back in time 10 years to the early start of Will's business career, and we go through the various fuck-ups and failures that have occurred along the way, with the idea that you, if you're starting out in business or your clients, you can avoid some of these mistakes. We're really targeting those people that are in the first 2 years of their business career.
Yeah, it's very raw and very real. So it was hard to go through and recollect some of these experiences, but Ruben did a really great job at asking the right questions and pulling the stuff out of me. So so if you're an accountant, if you're a business owner, no matter what you're doing, I'm sure you're going to get you'll enjoy and probably learn a lot from the sort of things that we got up to, especially in those early years.
The last of our 4 segments is what we've called creative destruction, and that's about the startup journey, I suppose, for businesses that are just starting out, taking you right from conception, identifying a problem, who your customers are, cash flow forecast, testing your market, all the way through to toward the end of the first 2 years of business. And so we want to give you some real practical steps and things you can start to practice, whether you're starting out on your own or you're helping people who are.
Exactly. So if you are an accountant or looking into business, this podcast is absolutely for you. We have a lot of fun putting these together as well. So as I said, we kick off with a quote of the week, and we just have an open chat about what that quote means to us. So we start, I know it's very much off the top of our head, and then from there we rip into the topic of that week. So it's a lot of fun, and we really hope that you guys enjoy it.
Fantastic. So we plan to release these weekly, indefinitely into the future. You'll find us on every accounting major podcasting platform, Spotify, iTunes, etc.
And YouTube. We're putting the video up on YouTube.
Yep. Fantastic.
Awesome. So the first episode is industry deep dives. So we look forward to seeing you guys there.
We'll see you there.